Mr. Knight, you are a pretty big fan of Johnny Depp, aren't you?
I am not. To be honest, throughout the evening, I
just asked you one question.
Oh, I
didn't
apologize.
ask you the rest of that.
We are 5 weeks into the Depp versus Heard trial as lawyers of both parties have begun crossing testimonies.
Also, to the CHLA.
Your Honor, at this point, I'm going to object. Mr. Chu has largely just read his brief and confined his arguments to those directed in the motion. But like we saw with the last motion to strike, he's now directing his arguments to something other than what's at issue here. And I would object because I think making an argument not to you but to the cameras, it's disrespectful to the court and to everyone's time, and it also threatens to undermine the integrity of this process and risk the jury being influenced by outside factors.
Things have begun to get explosive and petty as Amber Heard's lawyer Elaine Bredehoft was seen mocking an alleged male victim of domestic abuse. The victim, of course, is none other than the plaintiff, Johnny Depp himself.
Played a tape in which Mr. Depp said, "You will not see my eyes again." Do you recall that?
So how did Elaine Bredehoft do this? Does this bring Elaine's character into question? Let's find out. During her redirect examination of Johnny Depp, a clip of Elaine Bredehoft at the trial has surfaced. In the clip, she could be heard saying, "You will not see my eyes again," in a deep voice in an attempt to imitate one of Johnny's old audio tapes from when he was speaking with Amber Heard. Johnny Depp was seen smiling and laughing it off immediately. This is no surprise coming from Captain Jack Sparrow himself. This is the man who kept doodling in court while the defendant, his ex-wife, and alleged abuser Amber Heard, gave her testimony. However, the lawyer's actions have spread like wildfire on the internet, fueling hate towards her and her team. Of course, the singular clip of her mimicking Depp was taken out of context. When you would put it in place alongside with the circumstances surrounding it, it makes more sense. Johnny's lawyer, Camille Vasquez, cross-examined Heard's statements following Elaine Bredehoft. Then Amber's legal counsel had her chance to do a redirect examination. During Camille's cross-examination, she had played an old recording of Johnny Depp saying, "You will not see my eyes again," from 2016, when Depp and Heard officiated their divorce and Heard filed a restraining order against him. The next day, during Elaine's turn, the topic in question was Depp's lack of eye contact with Amber Heard when she gave her testimony. Elaine compared it with how Heard directly looked at Depp while he testified. This was when she performed her now infamous impersonation. "You will not see my eyes again." Amber Heard was quick to respond with how Johnny Depp would not look in her eye because he was guilty, not because of some verbal promise made in 2016. Whether Elaine Bredehoft intended to mock Johnny Depp or whether she was just trying to put things into perspective for people at the court is something we may never find out. However, it is safe to assume no offense was taken by Johnny and his team, as everyone seemed to laugh it off. Maybe they just liked the dig she took, or they laughed at the lawyer's poor attempt. One more answer, they may be in the dark forever. However, this raises a very serious question about Elaine Bredehoft's prowess as a lawyer and character as a person. Trials at court are to be taken very seriously with no room for humor from the lawyer side. The courtroom cannot impose rules on others, of course, but people who have passed the bar have to take it very seriously. In a trial of an issue as serious as defamation by fake domestic abuse allegations, one cannot hide it like Harvey Specter from Suits. Moreover, this is not the first time Elaine Bredehoft has slipped up in court as well during this case. While obtaining a deposition from Johnny Depp's former lawyer, Adam Waldman, Elaine asked the question, "Have you ever represented any clients who have either been accused of domestic violence or had domestic violence committed on them other than Mr. Depp?" The phrasing of this question seems to hint that Depp had domestic violence committed against him, which is one of the significant questions debated during the trial, where Elaine is supposed to fight against the affirmative. Between this and the recent imitation of Depp, Elaine's excellence as legal counsel is up for debate. However, she has also been seen going through documents continuously and delaying the trial by 10 to 15 minutes just to find evidence, which lawyers are supposed to come prepared with. Maybe Amber Heard's team needs to undergo major restructuring. The internet has been furious at the way Elaine Bredehoft handled the redirect examination. The problem was the fact that she was not just mocking Johnny Depp, a Hollywood superstar, but also an alleged victim of domestic abuse and defamation. People were quick to point out if the gender roles were reversed. This would spark international outrage and result in the lawyer being disbarred. One Twitter user wrote, "If the genders were reversed, if a man copied a woman's voice in court after some extremely serious accusations, what would happen?" However, it is in everyone's best interest to see this as an Elaine versus Johnny issue and not one of women versus men. Many women's organizations, such as Mission NGO, have come out in support of Johnny, condemning the actions of both Amber Heard and Elaine Bredehoft. Another issue that needs to be discussed in depth considering Elaine's actions is how male victims of domestic abuse are rarely taken seriously. Elaine's client, Amber Heard, could herself be heard mocking Depp in an old audio recording, saying, "Tell the world, Johnny, tell them that I too am a victim of abuse, and see how many people believe you." Elaine proceeding to do the same, shaming by making fun of Depp's promise, only cements the problem further. Another Twitter user said, "Elaine is mocking Johnny Depp, a victim of abuse, just like her client does. He has every right not to look at his abuser in the eyes. Case closed." The hashtag #TheMenToo movement is infuriated with Elaine's actions and has begun campaigning and demanding respect for male victims. Fans of Johnny Depp had also another bone to pick with Elaine's sentiment. The media had begun to shame Depp's fans for holding an alleged witch hunt against Amber Heard and other women who alleged abuse by mocking them. According to them, Heard's lawyer going ahead to do the same to Depp brings out hypocrisy. A fan of Depp wrote, Hashtag Johnny Depp fans are mean for making fun of Amber, and yet here is Elaine, a lawyer, making fun of Johnny. Supporters of Elaine, however, prefer to take a different view on the issue. A Reddit user wrote this: "This woman is also a lawyer. It's called a job, not victim shaming. He is an alleged victim. The claim here is that Depp is no innocent victim. He's an alleged victim, but also an alleged abuser." Both Heard and Depp have brought forward evidence of them abusing each other, from pictures of severed fingers to witness testimonies from close friends and family. While it might have been unnecessary for Elaine to read out the line in Depp's voice, it is not the same kind of personal attack against male victims of abuse. This is the stance that people who are mostly neutral or leaning towards Amber's side have taken. Some believe Elaine only did it because she's lost faith in Amber Heard as a client and is purposefully botching their case. Furthermore, they think that Heard is disrespectful and difficult to work with for Elaine, who has apparently reached her breaking point and is just finding humor in things to cope with. One fan wrote, "I don't blame her. She's unfortunately being lumbered with a sophisticated sociopath who has lied from day one, and it's all coming out in court." Allegedly, people spotted Heard screaming at Elaine and crying outside the building as well. People are also wondering about Elaine Bredehoft's legal career from here on, after mocking an alleged domestic abuse victim. Many attorneys have pitched in on the issue, stating that it is unethical and unprofessional for a lawyer to act that way in court. It is immaterial who the party on the opposite side is, whether an abuser, a victim, or a survivor of trauma. Mocking the plaintiff or the defendant is likely to result in serious legal consequences outside the court with the bar. If the verdict of the jury is not on Amber's side, Elaine's legal career might be in jeopardy big time. And now, we would like to hear your thoughts on this issue. Do you think Elaine Bredehoft was wrong to mock Johnny Depp, or is it just a harmless jibe? Where do you stand in this trial? Let us know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, like and subscribe to keep in touch with all things pop culture.